This is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, real estate from a marketing perspective, and this is episode number 124. This April will be 3 years I've been doing this podcast, so everybody that's ever watched it or subscribed or liked on YouTube, thank you. Appreciate it very much. But as everybody knows, my podcast is not about me, it's about my guest. So that's why we're watching these things. I always have to make sure and pay the bills and thank my the area vice president for Houston division, Jennifer Smidas, Mike Snyder, the sales manager for the territory, Caitlin Kornick, Deputy Devin, Van Wynn, Gracie Lagos, and Melissa Caruso, who are all my escrow officers in the Sugar Land and the Richmond offices, and anybody else that I didn't mention that works with us. If it wasn't for you guys, I would not have the podcast. And number two, if you are a vendor or a real estate agent that operates in the Fort Wayne County area and you watch the podcast and you'd like to be on it, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com, and we'll get you on the calendar. So now that we paid the bills and we told everybody what we're doing here today, let's talk to this guy. This is Dale Branch with New American Funding.
Correct.
Got it correct. He is with a mortgage company that gives loans out to people that are trying to buy a house. And you also office out of Keller Williams Southwest, or at least the building there, and that's how we met.
Yes.
So introduce yourself to everybody, who you are and what you do real quick.
Sure. My name is Dale Branch. I'm a loan originator with New American Funding. We go by the acronym NAF or NAF. I've been in the business for about 25 years, started in the year 2000, and it has been just an incredible journey. Some markets are up and some are down, and it can be frustrating at times, but I love the business. I love that it's not the same old thing every day after day.
There you go. We'll talk about that. So what were you doing before you got into mortgage funding?
Interesting. Years and years ago, I was in the restaurant business. I came to Houston to help open a franchise for a person that bought the rights to about 15 restaurants, and started in the restaurant business, then moved on, knew that I wanted to have a family. Said, well, the restaurant business is not very conducive to kids.
No, you work
or
70
wife.
hours a week.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I got out of that and got into sales. Started sales. I was selling products to restaurants, hotels, hospitals, that type of clientele. So there was a closeness to being still in the restaurant business. Had a great friend who was in the mortgage business. I've known him forever. I used to run through the neighborhood in the afternoon with my dog and would see him coming home at early hours or late hours, whenever, but I knew that he was very, very successful. And I stopped him one time and said, hey, I just want to talk to you about what you do. I want to find out a little bit about this. I had a sales background. My work ethic was there. I knew that the type of business, mortgage lending, you eat what you kill. You work hard and you can be rewarded. And he acknowledged that. He said he works very hard, but it was a very successful business for him.
Yeah. I'm a big proponent. I tell people all the time, even when the market's down or you think it's down and it's slow, then you got to do twice as much work, because when it picks back up, you'll have all the business come to you. So, but in anything you do, you have to work at it. And if you don't think you have to work at it to achieve something in positive, I don't know what to tell you. You got to be vested in what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, I think you're going to be disappointed if you think that you get into something and don't have to work hard at it to be successful. Yeah. It's just not the way that it works.
So you were in restaurant product sales before you got into the mortgage business.
Correct.
And then you talked to your friend. And why was he a mortgage lender as well?
He was a mortgage lender, actually a mortgage broker, had a partner, an office here in the Sugar Land area. And I knew where the office was, but he was telling me, he said, look, I go everywhere. Wherever there is business, I'm going to have to be there. And so trips from Sugar Land to Kingwood, down south to Clear Lake area, he was all over the city. And he instilled in me, he said, if you put the effort in, then you'll see great success.
Yeah, you have to do that. So what was NAF the first mortgage company that you went to?
No, they were a broker here in the Sugarland area. We later joined with a local lender here in the Houston area.
Okay.
After working with them a little bit, we decided to join another local Houston area lender. The mortgage industry has seen a lot of ups and downs, and since the pandemic and since rates were at 2.5% and 3%, we saw rates going up. But at the time that started to happen, affordability was a big issue. The volume for real estate agents and the volume for mortgage lenders was at 30 to 40% of what it was back in 22. And because of that, there were a lot of companies merging. A lot of companies that were buying up other companies kind of inorganically were growing their business by having the money to buy someone. And then you had other companies who were organically going out and recruiting and getting loan officers to come on board with them. We had spoken to NAF, to New American Funding, about what they could offer, and really thought that it would be a greater fit for us here in this market. Very big company, very, very stable, no issues, and they built their business on growing by recruiting and getting good loan officers to come aboard.
Yeah, kind of like the same thing we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do the same thing. I mean, if we can get somebody that is with a competitor that's got a good book of business, but we can bring them some value of something that they're not getting from where they're at, and they come over, that just plugged in another chunk of business.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it works. Tell us about NAF. Tell us about what kind of programs, what kind of loans you offer your clients, and what you can do for them if they think they can't get into one, but maybe they can.
Right. So New American Funding has been in business for 23 years.
Okay.
They pride themselves on servicing. They service almost $80 billion worth of loans. So they do have a servicing portfolio, which is a benefit for buyers. If their loan gets sold off, sometimes there's issues with escrow accounts and making payments to their previous lender and that payment not being transferred. Servicing your own loans helps to eliminate that. That was a benefit for us. New American Funding is national. They have any and every program available out there, from conventional to FHA to VA loans. But NAF also has in-house funding and financing and underwriting for loans very specific to NAF. We have a suite of products. It's called the Pathway programs. It's the pathway to home ownership. And through these pathway programs, some of them are down payment assistance programs. Some of them are 100% financing. Some depend upon the location of the property. Some have income limits. Some do not. And so it's sort of an in-house answer to down payment assistance programs and to help people that really need this to get into loans. There's one of the benefits, but NAF also offers a big program that's availability now for non-qualified mortgages. And these are mortgages that if a person's income doesn't quite fit into the qualifications or possibly credit or assets, we have programs to fit them in to get them to be able to qualify. We're in Fort Bend County, one of the most ethnically diverse counties in the country. And because of that, many cultures choose to be self-employed. And as a self-employed person, you are allowed through the IRS tax code to be able to write off legitimate expenses, reducing your taxable income. And for that reason, many of the people that we see in the area do not qualify because they're not showing enough money.
Their
on
taxable
their
income's
tax.
too low. Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
So this is a great opportunity through these programs that we actually underwrite and fund to be able to offer these programs to people that they fit into without having to verify it or have enough income.
So if, and you guys sound like you got a lot of great programs. If I'm somebody that is looking to buy a house, maybe for the first time or whatever, and they don't know anybody in your business, so they just go on the internet and they come across you, and they call you. How does an initial conversation between Dale Branch and this particular client, how does it go? What kind of things, questions do you ask, and what kind of information are you looking for?
Sure. Well, specifically, I'm going to ask, what is your motivation? Are you looking to find a place for your home to raise a family, to grow a family? Is this your first home that you've ever purchased? Do you have a home that you're looking to sell before you purchase? Is it about the schools? Is it about the area? I want to know personally what their goal is in regards to buying a home. What makes them tick? Secondly, we can talk about some of the details, what it takes to qualify. But very importantly, I will ask a question. What do you anticipate as far as a monthly mortgage payment, and what fits into your monthly budget? Many people go out and they see homes that are beautiful homes, but they don't know realistically what that home is going to cost on a monthly basis, or the cost to either buy it or put money for down payment. So that is part of the conversation. I think that I have truly done my job when a person goes away thinking, I know what it's going to cost, I know what I have to do to make this happen, and I know what to expect as far as monthly payments.
And do you help them understand the concept of interest and insurance and taxes with their with their payments?
Absolutely.
Because that's one of those things that people don't take into consideration.
You know, unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation.
Yes.
And what I find is that people will go on the internet and they look and they can search, and you can find any answer that you're looking for on the internet to kind of meet or to fit your narrative. There are sites out there that are real estate related that don't quite show the full picture. For instance, some of the websites that are out there, the listing services, show a principal and interest payment at an interest rate that at times is much below what the current market rate is.
Right.
They also may require...
Or not to interrupt you, or it's quite lower than the interest rate that person's going to qualify for.
Correct. Correct. They don't include accurate tax payments.
Yeah.
You know, they ballpark or guess at a potential hazard or homeowner's insurance that's usually much lower than what the actual will be. And so there's just a lot of misinformation. We get a lot of buyers or potential buyers that say, well, my friend told me, or my friend bought a house a few months ago. And so what I want to say is that if you were having a heart attack, you wouldn't go to your regular doctor to get your heart checked out. You would go to the expert, the specialist that specializes in that. And so I don't know what your friends do for work, but I'm going to guess that they're experts at what their job is. Leave it to the experts. Leave it to the people that do this on a consistent basis, and get the real information so that you know that you're getting into something and you have all the answers.
Well, just like every person is completely different from the next person. Every person's financial situation, wants and needs are going to be different. So what your friend is paying for his house is not going to be what you're going to be paying for yours.
I do agree. You know, there are variables that go into qualifying, and again, credit, income, and assets or down payment. All of those boxes come together, and we, as the loan officer, determine the best loan program that they're going to fit into. But we also look at what rate you're going to qualify for. Not everyone has 795 credit scores. And unfortunately, if your scores are not perfect, you're not going to get the best interest rate.
Of course, no. Well, that's the way it works.
Correct.
So let's talk about. So you work with real estate agents.
Yes.
How does Dale market your business? How do you generate leads, and where can people find you?
Sure.
As far as marketing goes.
Right. So as far as generating leads, I office inside of a real estate office that has close to 500 real estate licensed agents. And in that office, we provide training programs for the agents, for the brand new agents, just from information just like we would a new home buyer, from what it's going to take for one of your buyers to qualify. We do talk about some of the other loan programs that are out there that some of the more experienced real estate agents would be able to do. Through New American Funding and through NAF, we have a marketing a marketing program that allows me to actually produce marketing collateral with that agent's co-branded, so their information is on there. And so that gives me a lot of opportunity. If an agent has an open house, they have information that provides for house payments, for potential costs for the house. Their information's on those documents, as well as my contact information. So
Right.
I'm helping to market them, but also co-marketing myself at the same time.
And the other thing that you're doing too, is because you could be doing it for me next month, is you have a program that you do presentations about.
Correct.
Why don't you talk about that?
Sure. We have a loan program that New American Funding has that's called NAF Cash, NAF, N-A-F Cash. And NAF Cash allows a buyer to purchase a home without selling their home if they have another home to sell. We, in essence, create them or make them to be a cash buyer. They have to come to us, get all documentation to us, and we're going to do a first level underwriting and actually underwrite the file to know with 100% certainty that we can get them approved for the loan. They can then go out with a real estate agent who has been certified by NAF to understand the NAF Cash program, and then can go out and make cash offers. The benefits to this program is the average cash offer, and this is a national average, for a cash buyer, they buy the house at on average 12% less than the list price. That's a huge number. A $500,000 house, potentially, based on averages,
60 grand.
$60,000 less. So that house they may be purchasing for $440,000. An agent that takes them out and looks and shows them this property and saves them that kind of money, they're a hero. You think they're going to get every referral from every friend, every family member that they know to help them to go do that.
Their pipeline just exploded.
Exactly. And so the one of the benefits is that we purchase the house on their behalf. We also will then lease back that house. That buyer, person that wants to buy that dream house, can, at the time that NAF Cash purchases the home, move into that home. They start renting. Nobody stays for free. They start renting from us. Their first rent payment, however, is not due for 60 days. We don't want to double them up on payments. If they have a mortgage, we don't want them to have to be obligated to make a mortgage payment on the house they want to sell, and to also have to pay a rent payment to us right off the bat. But here's a thought. For an agent that has a listing that's sitting, if you took a buyer out and you did a NAF Cash offer and saved them $60,000, then on the house that they have to sell, the seller may get more realistic and may be willing to negotiate that price down because they've had such a big savings.
Yeah, exactly.
That way it helps the listing sell faster. They then, because they've already been pre-qualified for a loan, once their house gets a contract, they close on that and then they purchase the home back from NAF Cash. There's a slight fee.
At the discounted, the 60 grand down discounted.
At the same price. There is a fee to participate in NAF Cash. In the state of Texas, it's 1.95%. In theory, it pays for most of the closing costs that NAF Cash incurred when they bought the house. We're going to charge that 1.95% fee to them when they purchase the house back. At the time, if they've gone more than 60 days that they've rented from us, they'll start paying rent on day 61. We are not going to collect rent based on a monthly basis. It's accrued on a daily basis. If they go 45 days, we can do that. Our average closing time from the time that NAF Cash writes the contract to purchase and agrees to buy that home, the average closing time is 12 to 14 days. The real estate agent gets paid on the purchase of the house at that time.
Okay. And if someone does have to, after 60 days, start paying rent, it's a little bit easier pill to digest when they know they're saving 60 grand or 12% on the future purchase of the property.
Correct, but it makes that renter buyer a little bit more realistic and say, hey, I really would like to sell my house. Maybe I'm willing to reduce the price to make it
move faster,
more marketable and move faster for the agent. So that's one of the benefits. One of the other benefits to NAV Cash is that you do not have to own a home in order to participate in NAV Cash.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I
pretty
could
cool.
go out, I'm a pre-approved buyer, and I could go out and have my agent make cash offers for me as if I was a cash buyer.
Mm-hmm.
We could close NAV Cash, could purchase the house at that discounted price. In addition, if they've negotiated that the seller pays closing costs, when the buyer buys the home back from NAV Cash,
Mm-hmm.
we will give them those closing costs that they negotiated on the original purchase.
Oh, wow. So they don't really lose anything
You're
by
not,
using your
you're
program.
not losing anything. There's the 1.95%
That's it.
fee.
Yeah.
We require that they have homeowners and renters insurance on the property because they're renting it back to us.
Of course.
And so that's one of the
But
requirements.
renter's insurance is $30 a month. I
It's
mean,
very
it's very expensive.
And we also require that the house that they want to purchase, that it has a home inspection done that they pay for. We don't want to buy a house on their behalf and be stuck with a house that's going to fall apart. next
Exactly.
month.
Once they find out that there's problems, then they back out of the deal.
Exactly.
Now you got a problem.
Correct.
Is there anything else about this program that we haven't mentioned so far yet?
It is good for only conventional financing
Okay.
or for a veteran.
Okay, so
There's-
it is good for veterans.
There is a minimum of a 5% earnest money deposit for a conventional loan and 1.5% for a VA loan.
Mm-hmm.
If a veteran uses his VA benefits and buys back the house from NAV Cash
Mm-hmm.
at 0% down, they could technically get their earnest money back at closing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it not only is it a program to get you into a home that's less expensive than the market, depending on what kind of situation you're in, you could also possibly buy a home and it's very little out of pocket.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
are you is not that I'm sorry to interrupt, but are you guys the only one doing this?
I believe that we are across the country. This is a program
Wow.
that NAF has had for 3 years, and it's a program. There are other programs where they don't do it quite the way that NAF does it. We
Mhm.
purchase the house on their behalf. They then purchase it back. We don't make any money on the service fee.
Mm-hmm.
We're not making any money on rent. They're using our money to stay in the house until their other home sells. The end goal is for us is to have the final permanent financing, the mortgage.
Right. Now, if you have, if you buy the house for them and then you sell it back to them and they buy the house, there's two closings. Is that correct?
Well, there are 2 closings. However, the agent that wrote the original contract is going to help NAF write the contract for NAF to sell the house back to their buyer. That's part of the certification course
Mm-hmm.
for an agent to become certified and to be able to participate in the program. But also, if they have a house that they're selling, this is going to help the house sell quicker. So the agent's going to get paid on the sale,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're going to get paid when that home is purchased by NAV Cash.
So the agent will make commission on it twice.
If they sell their other home.
If they sell their
that's
other home,
listed.
yes. Okay.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a program that everybody should be interested in. I can't remember the date, but you are teaching this for me next month.
I am teaching it next month. I want to say it's the 9th.
I thought
March
it was the 9th.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So March the 9th here at the Sugar Land office. If you're a real estate agent and you're watching this and you're interested in more about this program, come to the class. Dale's going to talk about it. How do you get in front of real estate agents? When I know you're in Keller Williams and everything, and you
Sure.
get in front of them, but for agents that aren't Keller Williams agents, what do you do to get in front of them? Are you on social media? Do you have a website? What kind of things you do for that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I was the guy that thought, well, nobody's really interested in what I do on a regular basis outside of work, and I'm not that exciting, so nobody wants to see me on social media. And so
I've seen some of your videos.
you have seen some of my videos. And I got to a point, I said, well, what I've been doing in this market's not working. And so did a little research, watched some of the people that were still really doing well in the mortgage business, even with this big downturn.
Mhm.
And they were constantly on social media, if it was Facebook or Instagram,
Doing
wherever they chose.
anything.
And it was anything.
Yep.
I've done videos where I'm out lifting bags of mulch over my head, doing yard work. I've done videos where I'm cooking in the house. I'm just sitting around on the outdoor area at the the table under the trees, listen to the birds chirping. It's amazing to me what people really like. I've had my dog in videos, and those got some of the biggest views. It was really crazy to see. But in regards to agents, I contact real estate offices. This NAV cash program that we do is something that we can do at any real estate office in order for agents to have this as another tool in their toolbox to help them move some properties.
Just so people understand, his office might be at Keller Williams, but you're not exclusive to Keller Williams.
Absolutely not. We pay rent in the Keller Williams office. We, as a company, NAF, New American, in the Houston area, we're in, I want to say, 9 of the Keller Williams offices. There are some other independent real estate offices around that we're in. But so the opportunity is there. I did 2 weeks ago, in 2 separate, smaller boutique type real estate offices, did the NAV Cash program for them. We have every program, again, that's available, and the ability for us to co-brand and co-market for them at no cost to them.
Right. And you can help them with their, like you said earlier, like their open houses and things like that. So
Absolutely.
if you're a real estate agent and you're looking for a program that's going to help you with your clients, at least what I heard about this program, it sounds like something that you might want to look more into. I have one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
And since you're on the mortgage side, I'm on the title side, so
Yes.
I don't get business until you get business.
Correct.
In most cases,
Yes.
unless I get a for sale by owner walk through the door.
Yes.
But where do you see the market going for 2026?
I've got to believe that it's due for a big correction. We've seen the market. It has been very stubborn. It has not moved in the direction that all of the gurus of mortgage lending thought it would go in, dates when the Federal Reserve would meet. Okay, this is the date. This is where everything's going to turn and it's going to get better. Well, there's more to it than just the Federal Reserve lowering interest rates.
Right.
It's about the economy and the direction that it goes. Our consensus as a company is that we're going to see a correction and interest rates are going to start to drop. One thing to consider is people have been in their houses for a long time. For years, the average mortgage or average length of time in a home was 5.3 to almost 7 years. And we've seen that people through COVID may have updated, renovated, put in offices, did a lot to their house, and they may have already been in the house at that time. Well, they also refinanced at a rate that might have been below 3%.
Which is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, which is a great position. But they've been in the house now, they're getting itchy. They've been in it for 5 years, and they were forced to be in it during the pandemic, and they had such a low rate. But now they're getting tired of it, or now we're 10 years in a house, and I really want to change. I've got family, that kids are now out of the house. It may be time to start getting our house on the market. So I think as we get more inventory on the market, that's going to help for buyers to be able to come in. I will say that for buyers, if rates start to go down, then we're going to see a big flurry of buyers that want to jump in and take advantage of that. Unfortunately, that may start to trickle prices up on some of the houses.
Because law of supply and demand. Yeah, speaking of, I've been in my house for 21 years. So,
Good for you.
But I've tried. My wife, she loves the house. She loves where we're at. We live in Pearland, and I drive from Pearland to Fort Bend County every day for work, and she don't want to move. So why move? Happy wife, happy life. So
The boss spoke.
exactly. So tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Sure. So a couple of different ways to contact me. I'm on Instagram. My handle is Dale Branch, DaleBranch 1018. You can contact me. My phone number, 281-728-5421. Call, text. Best email for me I use is my NAF email. It is dale.branch@nafinc.com. I would look forward to reaching back out to you if you'll let me know what I can do for you. I'm here to make good things happen.
Yeah. So guys, I've been doing the podcast for almost 3 years now, and I've been in real estate for, I think we're going on 12 years now. Everybody knows, who I am, what I do, and I don't allow is not the right word. I don't partner with every single vendor out there in the industry that wants to partner with me. So if Dale's here, he's on the podcast, it's because I think he's got a good program and a lot to offer.
Thank you.
So please, if you're a real estate agent out there and you're looking for a mortgage company, a lender, and you need one, give him a call. There's no cost for a conversation, and he's probably got something that will help you with your business. So thanks for being on the podcast. Give me your phone number one more time.
Sure. My phone number, 281-728-5421.
Dale Branch with New American Funding, correct?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't miss it up.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it.
So this has been episode 124, Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. Thank you to everybody that I work with. And again, if you are an agent or a vendor that wants to be on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527. We'll see about getting you on the calendar. Until then, you guys have a great weekend. There's nothing special is coming up this weekend, right?
Nothing special.
It's just a regular weekend, the end of the month. No, we got another week in February. So you guys have a great weekend. You'll be able to see him on the podcast next Monday. Until then, have a nice weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.